Part 3, how often should you email? Here's what we're going to cover. How often you should send non-promotional emails, how often to email during a promotion, and when and how to resend emails. I have a baseline email frequency that I like to talk about, and the bare minimum is once a week. I know some people who email once or twice a month, and that amazes me. You have all these people who've signed up and they want to hear from you, and all you do is email them once a month, like they're a booty call or something. So the bare minimum is once a week. Daily is best, and there's an asterisk there. We'll get to why in a minute. Followed by weekday emailing, followed by thrice a week. However, what you have to do is you have to balance sending more emails with engagement of your emails, engagement with your emails, and coming up with new content. Because what happens is it's very, very easy to go stale when you're sending daily emails. It's so easy to just phone it in because it becomes a chore. You wake up in the morning and it's like, oh God, I got to send another daily email to my list. And that's what you see happening. Daily email newsletter was rare a few years ago, but now pretty much everybody has them. And to be honest, most of them suck. Why? Because it is such hard work and it becomes a chore and people start phoning it in. Which is why I recommend my clients, especially if they have somebody to write copy for them, my recommendation is to email 3 times a week and resend those emails on off days, if it's a content email, or on the same day if it's a sales email. And it's like emailing 6 times a week, but you're doing half the work. And there's a way to resend that we'll talk about in a few minutes. When you're doing an email promotion, I like to email twice a day. And if you were going through the Profitable AF emails promotion, you'll notice that I emailed you twice a day. Once in the morning, and then I resent that email to you in a slightly different form in the evening as well. But when you do this, you want to make sure you exclude the buyers from that promotion so that they're not getting bombarded with emails twice a day when they've already paid you money. And you can email the buyers again if you have a good reason. For example, you want to give them another discount. Let's say they bought on Black Friday, they bought like on 20% off. You email them immediately and say, hey, thank you for buying. Here's another coupon for 25% off for your very next purchase if you'll buy before the deadline. So that's the reason why you want to email buyers, okay? On the very last day, you want to send at least 2 cart closing emails at 18 hours left and 4 hours left. But you're emailing twice a day anyway, so that's par for the course. You can send more than that. You can send maybe 3 to 6 cart closing emails just to get a few more sales over the line, but just before the deadline. And what you also want to do, and this goes back to what I told you about treating the email subscriber on the other side of the inbox as a human. Use a stop promo link. And what that is a link that if you click on it, you'll stop receiving those promotional emails. If you went through the Profitable AF emails promotion, you would have seen that right at the top of the email, I said, hey, you're receiving this email because you signed up for the email waitlist for Profitable AF emails. If you're not interested, click here and you'll stop seeing these emails. And the funny thing is that even though the vast majority of people who saw these promotional emails, and I sent them to my entire list, okay, not just the early bird wait list, only a few people, less than, I would say maybe 10 people, maximum 20 people out of 700 actually clicked on that link to stop seeing those promo emails, which is a bit strange to me because why would you want to see promotion emails if you're never going to end up buying anyways? When you're resending the emails, okay, iOS 15, which is Apple's operating system, has made open rates unreliable. It used to be that when you resend emails, you would resend to unopens. So now, because open rates are unreliable, it doesn't make sense to resend to unopens anymore. What you want to do is resend to people who didn't click or resend to people who didn't buy. And that is just good practice anyway. The smart email marketers were doing this before. They would always resend to people who didn't click or didn't buy, because by definition, that includes people who didn't open the email anyway. When you're resending, you want to resend on the same day if it's a promotional email, or on the next day if it's a non-promotional email. And when you resend, you want to make it look like a new email. So you want to change the subject line and preview text. You want to change the email body. So for example, if it's a design heavy email, you might make it a text email. If it's a text email, you might make it a design heavy email, and vice versa. If it's a long email, you might make it a short email, just a few lines. You might summarize it, or you might take the same email and just flip the order. You might bring the bottom of the email to the top and move the top to the bottom, just so that somebody who's looking at it looks like they're looking at a brand new email. And why you do this is because if you resend to people who didn't click and didn't buy, there are going to people who already saw that email where you're receiving it again for the same time. And they're seeing the same email a second time. So you want to make it look like a new email so that they don't get annoyed or turned off by the fact that they're seeing the same email twice in the same day. And you can also change the sender name, okay, which is optional. Why the open rate thing is a challenge for email marketers and why iOS 15 is a problem is because of these graphs. So 43% of all email opens happen on a mobile phone. And this fact is one of the core reasons why I email the way I do. And we'll see exactly what I mean in one of the later modules, especially when it comes to email design and email formatting. So 43% of people who open their emails do so on a mobile phone. And of these mobile opens, 90% of them happen on an iPhone. And as far as email clients go, which is the software that you use to read your emails, Apple has the biggest market share, followed by Gmail. All right. So emails are getting opened on mobile phones, and the majority of those mobile phones are iPhones, and the majority of those email clients are iCloud Mail. And what iOS 15 does, it creates a burner email account that you can sign up for, you can subscribe to things with, that will then filter emails that get to you. So to recap, here's how often you should email. You should email 3 times a week, all right, and resend them on off days if they're non-promotional emails. And you should email twice a day during a promotion. The evening email, so you should email once in the morning and once in the evening. And the evening email is a resend of the email that went out in the morning, except on the last day. On the last day, you send out cart closing emails. Those won't be resends. Those will be original emails, okay? When you're resending, you want to resend to non-clickers and non-buyers, not non-openers, because open rates are unreliable. Plus, if you're resending to non-clickers and non-buyers, by definition, that includes the non-openers as well. And when you're resending, you want to make sure it looks like a new email by changing subject line, the preview text, and even the email body copy.